Manhattan area of New York. Manhattan is a kind of a Long Island with the Central Park and all the high rises. And this is iconic. The World Trade Center Tower. There's the One World Trade Observatory. I've been on top of the tower. You get a spectacular view of the Manhattan and all the Brooklyn Bridge, Manhattan Bridge, and Williamsburg Bridge, the Statue of Liberty, and all this. The symbolic height of this is 1776 feet, which is the year of American independence formation. Tragically, there were twin towers before; those were destroyed by a terrorist attack, and then they rebuilt the tower. And it was done in 2012. And then, as I told you, the height is 1776 feet or 541 meters, representing the year of American independence. And this is the iconic Manhattan area with all the sky rises and the financial district, the stock exchange where money is made and lost, and the great American companies and so on. So this is one of the most iconic areas in the whole. Manhattan in New York, and this is the famous vessel, in the Hudson Yards development. They opened the vessel, it goes in a maze fashion. They opened and closed it a few times because, people were committing suicides. And then, that's the reason each time they increase the security and, kept security guards, etc. And this is, the tall buildings are, parts of the Hudson Yards development. All these tall buildings. Hudson Yards, the important thing is it's a $35 billion investment, and they build the Hudson Yards about the railroad tracks, about the live active railroad tracks. So that's very spectacular lightings and, during the Christmas time, right? Lights and, a lot of lights. And this is, the vessel, the iconic vessel in between the Hudson Yards. We had a tour of the Hudson Yards, and the tour guide was telling a lot of stories about each of those buildings, how spectacularly they were built, what are the, financial and other implications behind each of those buildings, and the spectacular lights. And it's really so beautiful and amazing. This is Hudson Yards in Manhattan, New York. I'm right in Manhattan, America. And this is the World Trade Tower that was tragically it was destroyed. There were two towers before, and then they built a new tower in place of that one. It's 1776 feet. 1776 being year when America was formed, and it's so 541 meters. It's really spectacular. I just had been through the observation deck, and this is where the memorial for this, and where they had written the names of the people who tragically died in that attack. Actually, and this is the the water splashes in the pool and so on. So this is the the memorial. It's called the 9/11 memorial.
Okay.
Top of a buggy, but this is on top of the World Trade Center Tower, which is 541 meters long and a spectacular view of the Manhattan. I'm at the top of the One World Trade Center, and this is a spectacular Manhattan, and then the spectacular Brooklyn Bridge, the Manhattan Bridge, and the Williamsburg Bridge, and spectacular Manhattan. That side is the Statue of Liberty, and then the Verrazano Narrows Bridge, and this side is all the Manhattan other towers, the Empire State Building. Yesterday I've been there, and that side is Hudson River Garden. So this is Manhattan, and sitting on top of the One World Trade Center, which is 541 meters long. Feet, it's 1776 feet, which is the year of formation of America. So symbolically, so on top of the world. Good. Manhattan, New York, and this is the iconic, the pier, and this is the East River, and that's like the helicopter, and then that's a famous Brooklyn Bridge, and behind that is the Manhattan Bridge and the Williamsburg Bridge, and this is we are nearly at the tip of Manhattan Island, and these are all the tall buildings, and Wall Street is just lurking around, so it's just lurking around. So this is the South Financial District, and this is Manhattan, one of the most iconic places in the whole world. I'm in Manhattan, New York, and this is the iconic New York Stock Exchange. I studied international finance and business and wanted to be on the stock exchange, like a derivatives trader or a stock trader. And this is, the tagline is the world puts stock in us. Generally, stock exchange deals in, equities, debt instruments, and derivatives. Then there are also commodity exchanges, Chicago Mercantile Exchange, Chicago Board of Trade. So this is this is the world's, we can call it as emperor of stock exchanges, or, emperor of securities exchanges, because the turnover is in trillions, Nvidia crossed 4 trillion recently. So this is iconic, New York Stock Exchange, and, the biggest exchange in the world. Every country has its own exchanges generally, and every capital or, financial capital has one. And this is the emperor of stock exchange, the biggest stock exchange in the world. This is the Metropolitan Opera in New York, more popularly called the Met. I love operas, ballets, Latin music, and salsa. And this is the place where spectacular operas are made. I watch them all through on the TV and Metropolitan the streaming. And I love operas. Operas mainly are from European languages like Italian, German, and so on. All the spectacular productions are really, really spectacular. I think it houses about 3,800 or something seats. And a spectacular opera house in the whole world. I'm in Manhattan, New York, and this is the famous Radio City, famous for the Rocketer show that has more than 300 kicks and the falling soldiers and so on. It has been 100 years since the show is on. This is a spectacular, the Manhattan, all the high-rise buildings in Manhattan. One of the most iconic spaces in the whole world. Falling soldiers and all those stuff. So it usually plays for about 6 weeks. Other than that, this is an iconic place of the world, one of the greatest entertainment venues in the whole world, almost a century old. So this is Radio City, the iconic Radio City in Manhattan, New York. In New York, and the spectacular, probably the largest auditorium in the world and the best venue. They are celebrating the 100 years of Rocketeers. Rocketeers is a very musical program with with more than 300 kicks and the falling soldiers and all those. It was lucky to actually meet one of the dancers and to have interactions with her. So it was spectacular. This is Radio City. This is the One World Trade Center train station. And the huge complex. The One World Trade Center. In the regular Apple store, the same tables and here you have some of the shops like in Red French Embassy, Long Giants 24, and yeah, this is like a World Trade Center. Concourse which leads to the World Trade Center, and there are shops above as well. Yeah, last time I visited the shop. So this is the broad area of the World Trade Center.
Step on and off this elevator with air. Not run or walk while climbing this escalator.
Yeah. You alright? Muss ich so nicht zu den einkaufen.
Like, the idea to go out there.
Kisses your ordinary crosses or touch all sculptures. Yes. Exactly. So, how much do you no, so see, you can say, Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
This is the 9/11 memorial. The names of the people who died are written here, and then there is, of course, the daytime you can see the splash of water. These are the names of the people who died. So this is around the World Trade Center. That's the World Trade Center, yeah. This is the World Trade Center, and it was tragically destroyed in an air crash in 2001. And then on the September 11, it was an 9/11 attacks, and then it was restored. And there were two towers, but it was rebuilt and a new tower came. That's this World Trade Tower. Just been to the World Trade Tower observatory. There's a whole video about and the sights from the World Trade Tower. It's spectacular, really. And it's 541 meters in height, and symbolizing 1776 feet. 1776 being the year when America was formed, right? And that's it's a spectacular tower, 541 meters and 1776 meters. And it was rebuilt in the place of the two towers that were destroyed by air attacks on September 11, 2001. I'm right in Manhattan, America. And this is the World Trade Tower that was tragically it was destroyed. There were 2 towers before, and then they built a new tower in place of that one. It's 1776 feet. 1776 being the year where America was formed, and it's so 541 meters. It's really spectacular. I just had been through the observation deck, and this is where the memorial for this, and where they had written the names of the people who tragically died in that attack. This is the the water splashes in the pool and so on. So this is the the memorial. It's called the 9/11 memorial.
Okay.